Bringing it back local?
Yeah, so I think I'll just run through a whole bunch of other news stories, little tidbits, and we can comment on them quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So Corey Allen, who played for Queensland.
Had a good debut, didn't he?
Good debut, very solid. Actually, well, I think he was a bit susceptible under the high ball.
Yep.
That's what he struggled with. But he was at Souths, filled in a bit for Latrell when he was hurt. He's now going and joining the Doggies. Of course, the Doggies basically rebuilt their entire backline now.
So they've got Kotrick and they've got Addo-Carr
next year,
2022.
Yeah. Corey Allen, I think they've got someone else. They've got the former Panther who went there this year, Lesniak.
What team's the Lesniak?
Yeah.
There's two of them.
Okay.
Dallin and there's the other one.
I think
Malachi?
I think one of the Panthers guys went across.
Okay.
The previous year. So they got there, but I thought it was interesting because Allen, I think, is very much going across to play fullback.
Yeah.
There was some chat that Addo-Carr may go across to play, might try his hand at fullback when he goes and joins the Doggies. But if they've got Allen there, well, Allen's going to be there this year. Maybe they'll try and see how he goes. And you've always got Addo-Carr coming in the following year.
What about me mate, Gareth Widdop? He's going back to the north of England.
A bit unfortunate. He'd gone back to England, but then came back across because his family basically said, we want to live in Australia. We want to base ourselves in Australia. That's where we want his young family to grow up, etc.
And why would you want to live on that shitty, rainy, corona-infested island?
After what UK's going, you broke my chair. They break all the time. We'll just glue it back there and stick back in, she'll be right. So they wanted to be based here, so they came back across. Gareth was looking at some contracts, looking at Cowboys, etc. Dropped his asking price down. I think he was saying, I'll take 300 a season, 300K a season.
Way unders than what he could get in the UK.
But no one wanted him, so he's had to go back to the UK. So his family's still here. See if he can get a Super League contract, which he probably will.
Yeah, sure.
And so he can keep getting played, which is a bit unfortunate he couldn't get a deal here. Yeah. There's definitely some clubs that could use him.
Yeah, old favourite of mine, old Gareth Widdop, one of the toughest 5'8" getting around in the modern rugby league. Yeah. Surely he gets snapped up in the Super League.
Yeah. And the final NRL news was Mitchell Pearce has stepped down as the Knights captain after a bit of a sexing scandal that's going on up there.
Sexing scandal or sexing scandal? That's a tongue twister, that one.
Yeah, the scandal.
This is bad because he's meant to be getting married and they've called off the wedding.
Yes, and there's I think
it's all a bit sticky icky.
I'm not sure if because it was with a lady from the club, I think she's dating another player. She was going out with one of the players, and I think the boys were all off him for that, and it's all very messy. Yes.
So
see if Pearce is playing there this year or not.
So what happened? Did he step down himself, or was he told to step down? Do you know?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I feel for everyone involved there. Mitch, what are you doing?
Yeah. In the AFL, probably again. It's all relationship news. The only news in the AFL is bloody coaches getting divorces and love triangles. So
and the general sent a dick pic, did he?
Yes,
I haven't seen that. He'd have a schlong on him, wouldn't
he? He's been investigated for DMing a lady some lured pics. So if you're DMing a lady lured pics, I'm assuming they're dick pics. So yes, Jonathan Patton, that is, sending dick pics. So
if they're cracking down on everyone that sent a dick pic, you're going to lose half of the professional sport in Australia.
Yeah, Dak's like...
Just don't do a Draymond Green and put it on Twitter, which is what happened a couple of years ago.
Or do a Dak Prescott and have your face in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, some other news. The F1, the Aussie GP in Melbourne has been postponed. Very much.
They're normally in March?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Normally in March.
Early March.
Yeah. F1, of course, doesn't want to come to Melbourne, have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And then, of course, all the difficulties of going around getting all those people into Melbourne. So they're postponing it. I think the first race is going to be in Bahrain instead.
A week later.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think most of the season will probably be like it was this year, to be in Europe and in Southeast Asia and in in the Asian continents. Sorry.
Yep.
I jokingly said, well, why don't they do it at Bathurst and fly into Sydney, fly in New South Wales and do the race?
Absolutely no fucking chance.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a premier racetrack in Australia, it probably goes, you got Melbourne, you've got when they do the Gold Coast, but it's not a Pacific race track. It's a street track, yes, but it's a well-known street track. Bathurst is probably the other big one for dedicated street track that has history around it. Otherwise, you'd go Adelaide as well. But everyone's not going anywhere near those places. They're just going to stay overseas.
You reckon the supercar fans would, all of these fucking posh idiots, F1 fucking wankers.
I'd be really, the only cool thing, the only reason I bring it up is it'd be excellent to see an F1 car go around the mountain, come down the mountain.
Yeah.
Because the comparison is so different. They'd be 30 seconds quicker a lap than the supercars are.
Yeah.
And imagine that around Bathurst. It'd be unreal.
Is there any...
At the top of the mountain,
obviously,
it'd be insane to watch those cars go through.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason I bring it up.
Obviously, my F1 knowledge isn't up to scratch compared to you two boys. Is there any comparable tracks on the circuit? Like, is there anything that's that hilly in the F1?
There's a few that have...
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, Silverstone has some up and down.
Not to the extent that...
But nothing...
I
don't think anything has... Maybe in the Nürburgring in some parts of it. But yeah, nothing really has that goes up a mountain and comes down again.
Yeah, right.
And for that matter, Bathurst is one of the few tracks that kind of really does that too. There's... the Nürburgring itself, where they go all over the bloody countryside, probably does. But for a racetrack, it's one of the few that has that elevation change. I know
maybe a bit too steep.
Yeah, well, I know. I can't remember the actual race course. There's one in America that has a very similar down corner to the corner that is on the mountain in Bathurst, where it's a high elevation to very low elevation. With
that would be towards the Circuit of Americas.
I don't know.
That's the main one.
It's La something, I think.
La something.
Yeah, I can't. Too much Gran Turismo. That's what I remember.
So the Melbourne Grand Prix has been postponed to later on in the season, but
postponed in inverted commas.
Yes.
I think that very much depends on international travel and what they want to allow into Australia, et cetera, et cetera. Especially if they're not allowing the UK strain and they're going ham for it here at the moment, and considering a lot of these F1 teams are based out of England.
Marbles, aren't they?
Yeah.
No more fucking Coronas. Coronas are beer.
Oh, wait until we get to talk about the soccer. And to finish up my other, I've got golf. Did you see?
Yeah.
We hit the links on Friday and we were talking. Stoker was asking about who can drive it the furthest, and I was saying Bryson DeChambeau can hit it over 300 metres. I can't remember the conversion. He hit this one yesterday from the 12th, hit it 414 yards, par 4, put it on the green. Missed his Eagles chance.
Really nice kick.
Yeah,
it was sort of like a downhill one, and they were saying if anyone
roll.
can do it, it's him. That's still fucking obscene.
Yeah.
378 metres.
What?
Yeah. That's crazy.
If you're driving over the green on half of our par 4s that we play, that's... Oh.
Yeah, I think they were asking about it, and he said, I can really only use this on certain holes because other holes is just... just can't do it.
And you need them to be straight, like obviously on the dog legs, unless he's trying. And he does go over the trees sometimes, but there's only certain holes that present the opportunity.
Risk as well. So
the accuracy at that range.
And what about this swing on him? It's so weird. He looks like those professional. I
love the way he
big drive guys that don't plant their feet.
Yeah, I think he has to, because the amount of force that he probably brings his swing, he has to pivot and flick, because he does
He'd throw his hip out if he didn't.
Well, both of them go from like 90 degrees to straight.
Like he flicks on, he pivots on on his the points of his toe. He twists off it.
Weird. It doesn't look like a pro golfer swing.
I think if he didn't do it, he's probably having ACL and knee injuries in the future, because that's where it's all going through. It's just probably maintenance for him to longevity of his career.
Do you think Tiger was always big in the gym? Obviously he's not even comparable to the
size-wise,
rig that Bryson Scott. Do you think
Bryson's an NFL player playing golf?
Yeah, pretty much. And it does show it sometimes in his short game. Do you think other golfers might start taking this approach of just trying to beef up and being able to outdrive everyone?
I think it's very much been on the tour. They've been saying it's become more of a power game. You need to drive very long so you can then play that very short game. Because if take for example of Bryson's, having eagle chances on par fours all the time.
He's just got to learn how to putt.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's bring him into all those tournaments, and if you're going to beat that guy, well, you got to compete with that guy.
Yeah,
true.
And it's interesting on this one, the guys. The group in front of him were putting on that green.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Luckily, his ball rolled down onto the back of the green, and they were it was a long eagle putt for him.
Yeah.
But they were more closer to the pin and putting it in, so they didn't really bother them. But you're
probably thinking, they're 380 meters away. This should be sweet.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez. I play a little bit of golf down at Bermagui, and the only similarities I've got with Bryson is they call me slicing. Very ordinary golfer.
Yeah, well, you're a converted cricketer trying to play golf. So.
Yeah, but some cricketers are good at golf. Ricky Ponting doesn't swing the club like I do.
He was also good at cricket. So
here we go. Copping this half an hour before I've got to leave for my Sunday social cricket game.
Yeah. Well, if you get a duck, you got to put it in the chat.
Haven't had one this season. So
very good.
The quality of the bowling, of course, in Sunday social are unreal.
Bowlers no.
Bowlers no.
Okay, so
when's the PGA Tour kicking back off? They're not normally on until about February.
I don't know. I know there's a tournament on at the moment, but I don't know what it is. I think it's all practice kind of tournaments at this stage.
First tours
this weekend.
Yeah.
So all over that.
So the one with, I'm assuming, is this the one they're playing at the moment?
Yeah.
So there'd be round 2 today. Must have been round 1 yesterday.
No, it should be
round 3.
Round three today.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Playing in Hawaii.
That'd be why.
Yeah, it's Hawaii.
Not too many places in America you can be playing golf in January.
Yep.
Florida, California.
Yeah, I know the very few warm places in the States.
Maybe there's probably a lot of the southern states actually, but
Yeah, so we got Harris English is leading that under 16 with 2 under in round 3.
Yep.
Where is Bryson?
Good question. So he's tied 6th.
And Cam Smith tied 6th as well, Aussie.
Yeah. Enjoying his off season.
Yeah. Thought he was playing at the Titans.
Yeah. Well, Melbourne Storm have started training this week and he's not there. So
interesting.
Interesting. No decisions yet. He's too busy playing golf. Final other news story to hit is the UFC. There's a card coming up next week. The headliner being Holloway versus Qatar. Holloway, of course, number 1 contender, coming off his championship fights. I think the co-main is Carlos Kodik, sorry. I think I'm saying that. I probably fucked that up. Versus...
Koldick. Is he related to Hardnick?
Who's he?
You get that card up there.
UFC on ABC. Just search for UFC. It's the last one. He's fighting... he's in the welterweight. Two kind of comebacks in the welterweight division. Not a great card otherwise, other than Holloway being on it. But that's coming up this week. There's a following card the following week, and then McGregor Poirier the
end of the month.
For that. End of the month, yeah. So we'll cover that more in detail when it gets a bit closer. Monks' favourite lady, Paige Van Zandt, is
everyone's favourite.
She's going to be fighting this bird Hart in the bare knuckle fighting championship. So she's going bare knuckle.
Which
let me ruin that face.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
she makes more money through Instagram. So
surely, yeah.
Dealing with cuts is probably not what you want in the face, but she obviously likes the fighting.
Yeah,
we'll keep her going.
Weapons going bare knuckle.
Yeah,
that shit's pretty crazy.
Yes, it's especially with the knuckles, you get a lot of cuts with that. It'll be interesting to see how she goes over there in that. Anything you want to add, James, before I move on?
Do we find old Koldick?
Carlos I can't say his name. It's
Condon.
Carlos Condon.
He's been around for
donkey. Who's he fighting?
He is. Matt Brown.
That's the one. Matt Brown also been around
for a while as well.
Been around for a long time. So,
you want to make any predictions on that Holloway Calvin Qatar fight?
I'm going to go Holloway.
Yeah, I like Holloway as well.
Yeah.
Not really fighter relevant, but UFC 257. They're anticipating first crowds.
Yeah. On Fight Island. So
on Fight Island. So
first crowds on Fight Island.
Limited. So that's going to be 12 months almost to the date since they've had.
So when they say that, that's talking about we're going to go to the Princes in Abu Dhabi and charge them a fucking meat to come watch some cockfighting. That's what they're saying.
Cockfights, you reckon? You boys seen cockfighting before? Little tangent in the Philippines when oh my
we're talking about roosters here.
Roosters, yes.
Yeah,
roosters.
Philippines. We're not talking Thailand.
No, don't worry. There's plenty of that in the Philippines too. So I've heard. Absolutely brutal sport. Mate, Peter gets their knickers in a knot over horse racing here. Just don't look at that stuff.
No.
Oh,
It's
another level.
more birds getting slain than KFC. KFC.
Oh, it's so bad.
I'm glad you went with KFC there.
Dude, it's full on. It's like televised. Like it's one of their national. Like they love basketball and cockfighting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. In Mexico as well is really big. The cockfighting.
Wow.
They live good lives until they get in the ring. The roosters. Yeah. They're prized animals. You know.
Yeah. Well, they'd obviously try to grow them big, of course, like all that sort of stuff. But yeah.
Anyways, there's a little tangent.
Yeah.
First cockfighting chat on the Esky.
So to finish off,
still sport. We'll follow that. What was it? Mongolian table tennis or Mongolian badminton?
Sports bet. You got to get a Filipino cockfighting market open.
So to finish up that UFC card, I think Barkley is on that as well. He won KO of the year with that.
The leg catch
spinning, leg
back kick
thing,
wizardry fuckery
thing we want to call it.
Yeah.
But yes, he's fighting on this card. I think it's his first fight since that knockout. So he's third or fourth, I think, on that card.
Mm-hmm.
So he's fourth.
One to watch out.
Someone's out in the cricket.
Ooh.
It is.
Well, give us an update on the cricket.
Marnus. So Labuschagne is out for 73. Steve Smith's not out 44, and Matthew Wade's just joined him at the crease. He's not out 4. So a bit frustrating, I guess.
Yeah,
for
loose
Labuschagne.
Labuschagne would be frustrated with that. Should be hitting
250s and not going on. But
so what are they at now? So they're 3 for
148. So
with 97.
Yeah, so it's another 50 runs.
50 runs this morning.
Ahead.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see
thereabouts? Yeah, what happened?
50 runs in an hour is not bad.
What happened? Yeah, I think. Well, Marnus was striking at 62, so not going ham, but not Pajara batting. Yeah, what happened here? Because my mother-in-law mentioned this to me last night, saying that Shane Warne,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
let us know, mate.
Bit of a background. So it was at the start of a Big Bash match.
Yeah.
KO started the coverage a little bit earlier than expected.
Is this him and Simmons?
Yeah, he was on the mic and
get stuck in a loose bus.
Didn't realise that they were live.
Yeah, so hot mic, they got caught out talking about loose bus change.
I think they were just talking absolute garbage, but
it was garbage. They were just going on about his action at the crease and how he's got ADD.
Wiggles around too much.
Him and Smith are exactly the same.
Yeah. I think they dropped a few F-bombs on pay TV. I'm guessing. And
see, they probably get in trouble because they've said he's looks like he's got ADD, so there's probably a lot of people saying you can't say that, which I suppose would be hard having a kid that's actually got some ADD. Hopefully no one has listened to us. I've said Steve Smith's autistic before on this podcast in a good way. I love the man way. But they are both of them very fidgety at the crease, and they've got their own little idiosyncrasies.
The old timers hate it.
Yeah,
let's be honest. They hate all the moving around. Like, what are you going to do that?
And you know what's funny? We mentioned earlier, but Pekoski does it a little bit too. Not as bad, but
I think it's just the style they come into it. It just puts the bowler off a bit.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways, it's
Warner and Simmons talking garbage.
This is a difference between getting paid by Foxtel to do something or sitting around in podcasts. We don't have any bosses. We can just say, what these guys would say to each other. But
we're also not live TV to children. So
that is true. That is true. And there is an explicit warning on the show. So
it's the reason we say not for children.
I suppose from Warnie's perspective, also being maybe in and around the team, because he's given Labuschagne tips on bowling and stuff as well. So and that relationship, that environment,
I don't want to put myself in Marnus's shoes here, but I think he'd just have a laugh I don't think he would have been personally offended by that at all.
No.
It's obviously just, swearing and talking about, disorders on on national TV. That's why they're in trouble.
Yes.
The professionalism lacking.
Yes.
Start a podcast, Shane.
Have
some stories.
He has some story.
And if he doesn't want to start one, we've got one running for him.
And the bloke sitting next to him, Andrew Simons,
would have some stories.
Those 2 on tours.
Oh boy. Oh wow, yeah.